Hello, and welcome to BigBookCGK.com. My name is Tussie, and I'm reading The Recollections of Alexis de Tocqueville by Alexis de Tocqueville, translated by Alexander Teixeira de Matos. Chapter 5. The Sitting of the Chamber. Madame la Duchesse de l'Orléans, the Provisional Government. I entered the chamber. The sitting had not yet commenced. The deputies were wandering about the lobbies like men distraught, living on rumours, and quite without information. It was not so much an assembly as a mob, for nobody was leading it. The leaders of both parties were absent. The ex-ministers had fled. The new ones had not appeared. Members cried loudly for the sitting to open, impelled rather by a vague desire for action than by any definite intention. The president refused. He was accustomed to doing nothing without instructions, and since there was no one left to instruct him, he was unable to make up his mind. I was begged to go and find him and persuade him to take the chair, and I did so. I found this excellent man, for so he was, in spite of the fact that he often indulged in well-meaning pieces of trickery, in little pious frauds, in petty villainies, in all the venial sins which a faint heart and a wavering mind are able to suggest to an honest nature. I found him, as I have said, walking to and fro in his room, a prey to the greatest excitement. Monsieur Sauzet possessed good but not striking features. He had the dignity of a parish beadle, a big, fat body with very short arms. At times, when he was restless and perplexed, and he almost always was so, he used to wave his little arms convulsively and move them about like a swimmer. His demeanour during our conversation was of the strangest. He walked about, stopped still, sat down with one foot underneath his clumsy frame, as he used to do in moments of great excitement, stood up again, sat down anew, and came to no decision. It was very unfortunate for the House of Orléans that it had an honest man of this kind to preside over the chamber on a day like this. An audacious rogue would have served its turn better. Monsieur Sauzet gave me many reasons for not opening the sitting, but one, which he did not give me, convinced me that he was right. Seeing him so helpless and so incapable of adopting any resolution, I considered that he would only confuse men's minds the more he tried to regulate them. I therefore left him, and thinking it more important to find protectors for the chamber than to open its deliberations, I went out, intending to proceed to the Ministry of the Interior and ask for help. As I crossed the Place du Palais Bourbon with this object, I saw a very mixed crowd accompanying two men whom I soon recognized as Barrot and Beaumont, with loud cheers. Both of them wore their hats crushed down over their eyes. Their clothes were covered with dust. Their cheeks looked hollow, their eyes weary. Never were two men in triumph so suggestive of men about to be hanged. I ran up to Beaumont and asked him what was happening. He whispered that the king had abdicated in his presence and had taken to flight, that La Moricière had apparently been killed when he went out to announce their abdication to the rioters. In fact, an aide-de-camp had come back to say that he had seen him at a distance fall from his horse, that everything was going wrong, and finally that he and Barrot were now on their way to the Ministry of the Interior in order to take possession of it and to try and establish somewhere a center of authority and resistance. Thank you very much for watching. You've been listening to The Recollections of Alexis de Tocqueville by Alexis de Tocqueville. My name is Tussie, and this is Big Book bigbookctk.com. Thank you very much, and bye for now.